Mr. Bedi is with us now from Grofers. If you can hear me, good evening, Mr. Bedi. Thanks so much for joining us here. I hope you and the entire team at Grofers is safe and healthy. Kudos to all of you for being the foot soldiers, ensuring that we get fruits, vegetables, groceries every single day when we go on your app. But having said that, Mr. Bedi, I think a lot of us are shaken up today with the news of a pizza delivery boy in South Delhi turning out to be positive. The Delhi Health Minister announcing how as many as 70 families in South Delhi are now being quarantined. So I'm going to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. Is it really advisable, safe to go in for the online delivery option? And if one does, what are the do's and don'ts? Can you take us through that as well?
Sure. Hey, Nayantara, can you hear me? We're having some difficulty in connectivity, so I'm just confirming that you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. So
I can hear you. You're on
thanks for
live
having
television.
us.
Go ahead.
All right. Thanks for having us on the show. And yes, it's been testing times in the past couple of weeks. But I think at Grofers, we've taken this as an opportunity to serve the country, and I think I would like to salute the frontline team at Grofers uh, for all the work that they're doing to ensure that all of us stay at home so that they're out in the field delivering all our essential needs. Having said that, coming to your question, is e-commerce delivery safe? Absolutely. See, I'd just like to take a step back and talk about the lockdown. What the lockdown is ensuring is that we all stay in our houses. If we're all going to step out and go out and buy groceries at stores and kirana shops, uh, the probability of spreading the virus is going to be way higher. Getting stuff delivered to your residence is definitely a low risk activity. And that is because all large e-commerce companies are today following a standard operating procedure. So if you look at Grofers, for example, we are ensuring that anybody who's coming into the warehouse, we're doing infrared scans, gloves, hair nets, masks. Every 3 hours, we are disinfecting the warehouses. All our delivery teams, again, they have sanitizers in their hands. They're needing to sanitize before and after every delivery. Cash isn't being accepted. So we're doing a lot of work to ensure that we social distancing, for example, at the warehouse. That's something that we are mandating. Uh, Certain teams, if they don't need to work together, we're keeping them separate so that there is minimum exposure from one team to the other. And if you look at our delivery fleets again, we've started a service which is along the lines of zero touch delivery or contactless delivery. We're working with over 1,000 resident welfare associations to try and see if we can do bulk deliveries within the society and minimize contact with residents and people who are taking these deliveries. So there's a lot of work going on to ensure that we keep our customers, our warehouse workers, as well as our delivery fleet safe. So, longish answer to your question, but is e-commerce delivery safe? Yes, absolutely. And most companies are working on ensuring that that's the protocol. Now, is that going to be the case across the board for all establishments? Well, I think we will come across a case or two where probably somebody will pick up the infection as a delivery person who may have actually got it either from a customer or from some other place. But largely, I think the industry is doing a lot of work to ensure that safety standards are being maintained.
Mr. Bedi, hi, good evening. This is Ruchi, Bhatia. I'm Nayantara's colleague and her co-anchor on India Tonight as well. Appreciate you taking your time out and speaking to us today. I get the point that you're saying that staying at home definitely is low risk, and at Grofers also all kinds of steps are being taken to ensure the warehouses also are safe, your staff is safe. Having said that, this event, many fear, is going to cast a shadow on the operations of a whole host of delivery companies. What are you telling your consumers, your customers at this point of time?
Well, we are working with them. If you look at our assets, for example, on the app, the first thing when you open the app talks about how we are working in our warehousing, sanitizing things, hygiene. That's the first message that we're delivering to all our customers, because we are making sure that they're confident in the fact that what they're getting from Grofers is coming with the highest sense of hygiene. So if you open our website, for example, or our app, the first message, most companies try and put that that's the best asset, right? You try and sell your best wear on those assets. But for us, it's about safety of the customer. So the biggest message we're putting out there right now is saying, hey, listen, this is how we're handling our goods. It's perfectly safe. Now, of course, once you receive the goods, I think not just for Grofers or for any e-commerce delivery, even if you're getting in goods from your local kirana person, I think there should be a standard operating procedure of ensuring that you're disinfecting the goods, you're sanitizing them before you're bringing them inside the house, the way you're handling them, wearing a mask and gloves, etc. I think those standard protocols need to be maintained, irrespective of where your deliveries are coming from.
Bedi, hi, it's Nayantara again. There's been a lot of reports the last few days that we might actually see a merger of Grofers and Zomato. I will not expect you to comment on that unless you want to. But you know what I'm going to quote is Dipinder Goyal, the Zomato co-founder's tweets. He's come out with a thread of 8 tweets in which he talks about the FSSAI guidelines, but more importantly, he also says delivery folks are not recommended to wear gloves because it may give them a false sense of security and result in them not washing hands as frequently as required. Wearing gloves is not a substitute for hand washing. I know a lot of people would freak out if a Grofers package, an Amazon package, or any package were to arrive at their doorstep and the delivery boy is not wearing gloves. What is Grofers' stand on this entire issue? And are we seeing at least the industry and the stakeholders being united on what is the right way to go? Like, have you all been able to figure out that this is the right way to go, keeping in mind this is the hygiene level we have in India, education, awareness, all of that?
Yeah, so from our perspective, we think wearing gloves is something that helps increase safety levels. So we are ensuring all our workers in our warehouses as well as our delivery fleet are wearing gloves. It's not just for, it's also, one is safety of the customer, but it's also the safety of these employees. When they're handling, any exchanges, returns, etc., things like that. So, they're moving around on bikes. So it's important that they stay safe as well. So hence the masks and the gloves also help them, not just the customers. So from our perspective, we think masks, gloves, etc., is something that is a standard, and sanitizers is a standard practice. I would agree that it's not a substitute for washing of hands. I think both have their own place in terms of hygiene and safety, and hence for us we are exercising both. We are mandating changing of masks, for example, at a fixed stipulated time. Every delivery before and after, you need to sanitize your hands. Gloves are mandatory, of course. So I think it's a host of things that one has to do to try and say, reduce the possibility or probability of exposure.
Mr. Bedi, this is Ruchi here once again. I understand that Grofers is one of the firms that is at the forefront trying to deliver basic essential items at people's doorsteps. But even as we've seen the lockdown now being extended by 21 more days, just want to get a sense from you that how, because I'm sure the business continuity plans have been completely gone for a whack, if I should put it like that. How are you bracing for these times? What are you telling your own employees, and the kind of steps that Grofers has taken in the last couple of days for the for your own organization?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about 2 aspects here. One is about employees and what we're telling them, and secondly about how we are working towards ensuring supply chains aren't being disrupted. Because frankly, that is where you get the biggest impact of the lockdown. So we've been working very hard with our suppliers. And we've been trying to ensure that there is continuity of supplies, because that's the business we run, and we need to get those essentials in front of our customers. We also have a private label and hence we've actually doubled up production there. And if required, we're going to take it to about 5x. We've been doing a lot of hiring. We've hired about 2,000 people so far from associated industries which shut down, like garments, for example. People who ran out of work. We managed to bring on board about 2,000 people. If the situation stays the way it is, we'll probably onboard another 5,000 in the next couple of months. In the next couple of weeks across our supply chain organization. So that's really what we're doing to ensure that supply chains are not disrupted and we can ensure continuity of business. As far as our employees are concerned, the first thing we're telling them is stay safe. The team which is not on the supply chain side that needs to get out, everybody's working from home. For the last, I think since the lockdown, it's been now, 4 weeks. Everybody's working from home. In fact, we're finding business to be much more productive working from home than it was from office. So that's something that we're doing. We're telling everybody stay safe. But on the supply chain side, the field teams which are exposed out there externally, we're ensuring and mandating that certain steps are practiced so that they stay safe, like masks, etc. I've already spoken about all of that. So that's really the message we're giving them. You'll be amazed how motivated that team is on the supply chain side. Despite the fact that they're stepping out there and they know that they're putting themselves in danger, you'll be surprised to see how motivated they are. So that's inspiration.